Good afternoon and welcome to Godolphin's New Girls event. We're absolutely delighted to welcome you this afternoon. My name is Corinna Florence and I am Head of Admissions. Naturally, we would have preferred to have welcomed you onto the school site. However, we do hope this remote event gives you an added insight into life at the school. You'll shortly be hearing from Mrs. Emma Hattersley, our head, with a welcome address, followed by Dr. Chris Hillman, Academic Deputy, Mrs. Jenny Price, Pastoral Deputy, and also other key members of our senior team, our Housemistresses, Head of Year, and our tutor group. Again, you're warmly welcome. And now, if you'd like to follow me, I'd like you to meet Mrs. Hattersley.
Thank you, Corinna, very much for that introduction. And welcome to all of you watching this at home. It's lovely to be able to talk to you about our new pupils afternoon today. Sadly, we can't be here in person because of the current crisis, but all the same, I hope you enjoy what we have to tell you about this afternoon. Now, over the last few months, I know our lives have changed considerably, all of our lives. It's been challenging, I know, for many of us, but actually at Godolphin we've been embracing those challenges and looking out for the opportunities as well. And actually that's the true Godolphin spirit way of doing things. You may have seen some of our posts where, for example, our DT department have been making visors for the local surgeries and NHS. That's the sort of thing we pride ourselves on doing in times of crisis. Now, at the beginning of the summer term, thinking about opportunities, we launched our Go Digital. And that is a remote learning platform that all our girls have been engaging with over the last 3 months, it is now, I think, and all of this term, in fact. And this has been very well received. The girls have shown great maturity and resilience in the way they've approached that. And actually our teachers too have really upskilled, and I think our girls have been learning pretty well as a result, and we've received some great feedback on that as we continue to develop and evolve it. And it's not just been about the academics, however we do also have here wonderful pastoral care, which may have been one of the reasons that you chose us as a school in the first place. And we've made a point of making sure that our teachers can also contact students, even though they're at home, on a sort of one-to-one basis, so to check in really with their mental health and well-being. And you can also find information on our website, and there are particular pastoral pages there which get updated quite regularly, where you can see also our latest news, but lots of tips for parents too. So I hope that you'll take the time to have a look at those over the course of the summer. Now, Godolphin Prep actually has been open the whole time in spite of lockdown, because we've had some key worker children in there that we've been looking after. And we've now, of course, welcomed back some other year groups to join them. And so the site has started to come alive again a little bit more. And we've also got fourth years in, our year 10s, who of course are doing GCSEs next year, and our lower sixth. They've both been in for a few days over the last few weeks, and just getting familiar with the site again, getting their confidence back in terms of seeing their teachers on a one-to-one as well. So all of that has been encouraging. And actually, having been around school a little bit during the lockdown and it been very quiet and ghost-like and a bit eerie, it's much nicer now everybody is back. And perhaps in September, we'll have the whole school back, which would be absolutely wonderful. And you will be a part of that. Now, I wanted to talk actually directly to the girls a little bit today, because in September I do a much longer address to just the parents. But girls, I just wanted to give you a few tips, a few things to think about over the summer holidays so that you can feel a little bit more prepared, and particularly as you haven't had today to actually come into school and meet some of your other peer group that are going to be part of your year group in the future. So first of all, I wanted to say to you that actually you are the future, and your school days are going to be at Godolphin. But just to bear in mind that it won't necessarily always be a happy time. Yes, you're going to make friends, you're going to do lots of fantastic things, but it won't always be happy. You won't always necessarily get into the team that you want to get into. You might not always get the mark in an exam that you want to. But actually, what I would say is there's great reassurance here from the teachers who can support you when things perhaps don't quite go to plan. And I'd rather actually you tried those things even when they don't go to plan, so that you take a few risks and you really push yourselves out of your comfort zone, because actually that's what Godolphin's all about, and that's where all the opportunities lie. So take a big breath and take a risk. Secondly, I want to say to you to actually think about yourself, and this is an opportunity for you to reinvent yourselves if that's what you want to, and to be yourself. We celebrate the individual at Godolphin, and I don't want you trying to be something you're not. So here's your opportunity. You're starting afresh, whether you've come from our prep or from another school. So make the most of that as well. And thinking about yourself, I wonder how organised you are. Clearly, some of you will be terribly good with your all your kit and know where it is all of the time, but believe me, a lot of us don't. So plan, and if you can plan the night before, if you're a Sarum, get those books organised, get all that kit that you need, so that when you come in the mornings, you're not worried about that and having to get up extra early because you haven't got yourself organised. So they're just a small tip. And also, in terms of organisation, think about your prep and trying to do it on the day that it's given to you rather than the day that it's due. I know that's a simple thing, but if you can start with that mindset, it will really help you. A little word about phones. You don't need your phone in school. You can bring it into school if you come on the bus, but we have a no see, no hear policy at school, and it's actually only for the older girls to really have their phones with them. Unless, of course, your teacher asks you to bring it to a lesson for a particular reason. But actually, with the way that our digital strategy has moved on, I don't think that's going to be necessary in the future. And now to parents. We're looking forward to answering your questions. Some of your questions I know that you've sent in. But actually, I'd also say if there are things that occur to you over the summer, please use email. Please pick up the phone if you're anxious about anything at all, and we'll do our best to help with that. And I look forward very much to meeting you in person again in September. We do have a wonderful weekly bulletin, the Penny, which is also worth looking at on a regular Friday basis. That will give you further information, things that are coming up in the school that you might want to come to. And that goes alongside our sort of Friday letters, which get sent out. So that's just a little bit of further information for you. And keep out of school requests. That's something that I would just like to mention here. I do get quite a few requests if you've booked holidays and things to actually miss beginnings and ends of school. Please can you keep that to a minimum because our terms need to be the length they are for a reason so that we can cover our curriculum. So I ask you in advance to think carefully about when you book your holidays. I know not many of us are going anywhere at the moment, but when we can again, and all of those dates are available on the website for you to look at for the year ahead. So thank you very much. That's all from me for now, and I really look forward to seeing you again soon. And I'm going to hand over now to Dr. Chris Hillman, Deputy Head Academic, who's going to give you a little bit of further information, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you, Mrs. Hattersley. So I'm Chris Hillman, the Academic Deputy here, but I'm also one of the teachers at Godolphin, and so I want to give you a welcome from a broad perspective from all your academic staff, all your teaching staff that are going to be helping with your subjects through your life at Godolphin. Now, you already know from coming here that you are coming to a very welcoming school, and you already know quite a lot about the things that happen here. But I want to try and answer today for you a few questions that come up that might help you to feel more familiar when you arrive at Godolphin. So first of all, about the timetable. We run a 2-week timetable which can seem confusing, but very quickly it becomes second nature, and there's lots of people around to help you understand what's coming next. So you shouldn't worry about that. Also, with a timetable comes the process of moving from one lesson to the next. And that means that you need to be at the right place at the right time and to find your way around. That's not a problem. The site is not particularly big and it's quite well organised. So when you know what subject you're going for, you'll know where you're heading. And there are always plenty of people around to help you out. You also need to get to the right place with the right books. And we'll give you a lot of help with that as well. So you've got a locker to stay organised, and then we can help you to get what you need prepared and get to where you need to be. Also on the timetable are all your subject lessons, and they're wide and varied, and all your favourites will be on there. But we've also got some new subjects for you probably that you'll be able to try for the first time. So the excitement for that, I think, should be good. We also have the Godolphin Learning Programme on the timetable, which includes wellbeing, mindfulness, digital competency, the Bright Futures Careers Programme, but also a bit of history of art and cultural appreciation. So lots of details that you can find out that are not particularly about one subject, but give you a broad base of knowledge for later in life. At the moment, lessons at Godolphin are completely online. And so we've been teaching remotely through Microsoft Teams. And it might be that some of that continues, but we've also had a chance to have the 4th and lower 6th girls back into school for some face-to-face teaching as well. So we very much hope that when you arrive in September, we'll be able to welcome you physically onto the site. Another query about lessons is if they're going to be too hard, and we will try our best to make them challenging to help you to progress as quickly as possible, but our requirement of you is just that you try your best. And that means that even if you're not sure or if you become uncertain, you need to ask for help. So if you do have any problems, please let us know. Please let your teachers know, let your tutors know, and we can very quickly help to sort that out. That's also true for homework or prep, which is work outside of lessons that we set to help you to support your progress. There'll be a timetable for that, and you will work out at about 5 hours a week for you to be working on that. Again, any problems, let your tutor know. Your tutor group actually will be one of the first groups of students that you make contact with when you arrive at Godolphin, but you'll also be taught in teaching groups, which will be a different group of students, so you get a good opportunity to get to know people well, but you also get to know a broad range of people, and that will continue through the year. As we move further into the year through October half term, we also might rearrange your maths and English groups a little bit so that you're able to be taught most effectively there. I've mentioned a few times some of the help that's available at Godolphin, and part of that is the godmother process where we buddy you up with someone that knows a little bit more about how the school works. And I'm going to pass on to Mrs. Jenny Price now, the Deputy Head Pastoral, for some more details about how we support you in that respect. So thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you again and meeting you in September.
Hello, and a really warm welcome from me. I'm Jenny Price, and I'm Deputy Head Pastoral here at Godolphin. I have the huge pleasure of working with an amazing team of tutors and house staff, and we're well supported by Sister Jill and her wonderful team of nurses. We're very much looking forward to welcoming all our new girls in September, and I hope today to answer some of your questions, albeit virtually. Later today, you'll meet our tutor team, and I really must stress that for girls and parents alike, your tutor is the first port of call for any questions. They'll be able to guide you to the right person, even if they can't help you themselves. Girls, you'll see your tutors every single morning before we head off to prayers, or on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a slightly longer dedicated tutor time. All new girls will also be allocated a godmother. These are existing older girls who will also be able to help you find your way and answer all those questions you may have. Today, you'll also meet our house staff. Houses play a really important part in your time at Godolphin. Whether you're a boarder or a day girl, you'll find that you spend quite a lot of time in your boarding house. That might be Walters, it might be Cooper, or one of the sixth form houses. They're a really good base, and it's good to know that there's a matron in each house, so there's always an adult in the house at all times of day. Sister Jill and her team of nurses are also available from 8 AM to 6 PM every weekday, and they're on call at all other times, so that's reassuring for us all. So, what happens now? In July, you'll receive a letter from your housemistress with details of when to arrive. You have to bear with us at the moment, as we're still working on our plans for September, and we're still, of course, awaiting guidelines from the government as to how we'll be allowed to open. So we will be in touch, but just bear with us. On day one, please come in your uniform and bring your pinny. You'll see a new uniform behind me, and you will have received details on how to order online from School Blazer. Please do not worry if items don't arrive on time. If you have any questions, get in touch with Natasha White at the school shop. We usually have a pinny blessing on day one, and we're still working on how we can keep up with our tradition, but perhaps incorporating whatever social distancing measures we might need to observe. Details will follow when we know what we're going to do. What to bring? Always good to know what to bring on day one. I would suggest, especially for the younger girls, that you bring a bag to carry your books in. And definitely bring a fully loaded pencil case, but please make sure everything is named. I also think bringing a pad of paper would be a good thing for day one. Usually at this stage, I talk to you about our activities, house times, when to go home, and what trips we have on offer. But actually, at the moment, it's probably more sensible for us to wait and to communicate with you later on when we've got the clear guidelines. It does seem that school trips will be likely to be off the curriculum for the time being. Finally, for parents, I'd like you to save a date. Friday, the 6th of November, is going to be our Go Parent 2020. We've got a fantastic lineup with some great speakers. It may be online, it may be at school. We don't know yet, but please put that date in your diaries.
Thanks, Jenny. Hello, my name's Amanda Bacon. I'm a third year tutor and I also teach mathematics.
Hello, I'm Sarah Pokai and I'm a third year tutor and I'm also head of academic PE.
Hello, my name is Laura Danieli. I'm a third year tutor. I teach languages, French, German and Italian, and also a little bit of RS. And I'm looking forward to meeting everyone.
Hi, my name is David Roberts, and I'll be teaching. I'll be a first year tutor, and I teach mathematics.
Hello, I'm Hamish Morton. I'm a third year tutor. I'm director of sport and Outward Bound, and a teacher of PE.
Hi, I'm Sharon Duggan. I'm going to be a first year tutor, and I work in the art department and I teach textiles.
Hello, I'm Robin Highcock, the director of music. I'm a third year tutor. If you need any help with music lessons, I'm the person to ask.
Hello, I'm Claire Parker. I'm a third year tutor and I teach chemistry.
Hi, I'm Laura Mitchell. I'm a first year tutor and I teach biology and chemistry.
Hello, I'm Nathalie Monediere. I'm head of MFL and I am first year tutor and I teach French and Spanish.
Hello, I'm Joan-Hwa. I'm a first year tutor and I'm also a member of the science department.
Hello, I'm Jamie Powell. I will be a first year tutor and I'm a PE teacher here at Godolphin.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. My name is Reyes Avila. I'm a teacher of Spanish and I'm the housemistress here in Walter's House, the junior boarding house at Godolphin.
Thank you, Reyes. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Sarah Eggleton. I look after our third year here, and I also teach history and PSHE. So it gives me very great pleasure to welcome you to Godolphin, and I hope to see everybody in September.
Hello, my name is Miranda Edouard, and I am housemistress of Cooper House, our senior school boarding house at Godolphin. and I also teach English.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wendy Lapton and I am head of lower school. I oversee the academic and pastoral welfare of all our year 7 and 8 students. I'm also a resident tutor in Walters, our junior boarding house. My base is in Walters, so it gives me lots of opportunity to regularly catch up with the girls and share their daily experiences. I also teach computer science. I'm very much looking forward to getting to know everybody, especially our new students, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Hello, I'm Vicky Wilson. I'm Deputy Housemistress of Cooper House with responsibility for the third year boarders. I teach PSHE and my proudest role, I suppose, at Godolphin is Head of Methuen House. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you and the girls with the blue badges will get to know me very well.
So welcome to Godolphin Question Time, I think we're going to call this. I quite like that idea. And I've got Corinna here with me. And thank you to all the parents, and maybe some girls actually have asked some of these questions too, for sending them in to us. Normally, of course, there'd be the whole afternoon for you to actually have a chance to chat to particular staff to ask these things. But we're delighted to help with that now. So between us, we're going to talk through some of the things that you've sent in. So first of all, about the pinny. Now that's a good place to start, I think.
Do girls wear the pinny to and from school?
Right, that's an interesting one. When you get to the age at school where you're allowed to go down into Salisbury in groups, girls tend to have to be, they're in school uniform, but they don't tend to wear their pinny down into town. The pinny is really worn just in school. However, if you're coming in on the school bus, it's perfectly common to see girls with all their clobber arriving and actually they've got their pinnies on, so under their coats already. So don't worry about that, it's fine to wear it into school. Also actually linked to the pinny, I've got a question here, should the pinny be worn on the first day or brought in separately? Well, the first day is normally a really exciting time because we have this unique service, the pinny service. We're thinking about how we're going to be able to do that this year. It may well be that we do it outside. We haven't thought that through yet. But it's rather special because our chaplain does a blessing of the pinnies and then they're presented to you. And so it's quite nice to have that done before you put it on for the first time. We just need to make sure it's named so we give the right pinny to the right girl.
A question on timings for the day. From what time can first year, i.e. our new year 7 girls, arrive on a normal school day? And if they arrive early, where should they go?
So if they're a bit early, they can go down to Walters, which is the base really for all of the first and second years. Normally, most of the girls are in by about sort of 8:20, something like that. And then they go straight and register with tutors. Some days of the week, of course, you've got prayers or chapel. Other days you've got a longer tutor time, and so that's how that usually works.
A question on logistics. Can any of our year 7 girls walk into town at any given stage?
They can't really, no. If you're a boarder, you can go down with a member of staff at the weekend, but you have to wait till third year before you can go down to town.
Now, a technical question, Mrs. Hattersley. What model of scientific calculator should the girls purchase?
You see, now I've done my homework. Take note. So here we go. What you need to purchase, but you can get this from our school shop, so don't worry about that if you can't find it in the shops. It's a Casio FX991EX Class Whiz. Sounds very exotic. And this is very much recommended by our head of department in maths, so I'm sure we will have many of them in our shop.
We've had a number of questions asking about music lessons and also drama lessons. Do the girls come out of their normal timetabled lessons to attend these?
Well, we don't like girls missing too many of their academic subjects for a music lesson. And so it's depending on how many instruments you learn, what we'd try and do is a combination of a rotating lesson so that you don't miss the same lesson each week. But normally that would be combined if you've got more than one instrument to have a fixed lesson time. And that also helps those girls that perhaps are not quite so organised with their diaries. So that's also worth considering. If you are worried about that, it's worth contacting the Director of Music who can guide you more closely on that.
Naturally, girls are going to be a bit nervous on their first day and the first week at school. How do we help them settle in and find their way around school so they don't get lost?
Well, do you know, there's a funny story attached to that I remember a girl who started with us a few years ago now, getting herself in a terrible pickle that she couldn't find her way around. And all our school's planners, the student planners, have a map in them. And it transpired that this little girl had the map the wrong way round. So it was no wonder she was getting a bit confused. But it is in your planner. All our new girls have a godmother as well. And actually, we're not a huge site. And there will always be plenty of people to ask if you're unsure of where you should be going next.
When are you allowed to use your phones or digital devices in school?
If you're in Waters, it is handed in. You would need a phone perhaps if you're travelling on the school bus. So you can hand that in to the matron in Waters. You don't need your phone during the day. We have a no see, no hear policy, so we wouldn't want you to have your phone with you anyway. The older girls are allowed their phones, as I think I said actually in my talk to you. But if you're a boarder, you can have, I think it's your electronics time, and I think they have an hour in the evening when they can use their phones. But otherwise, it's actually quite minimal that you would need them.
What happens if someone needs some help during the night, if they have a nightmare or something similar?
So you can contact whoever is on duty in the boarding house, and there's usually more than one person on duty, but that's what you would do. You would go and ring their doorbell.
Lovely. Well, that seems to cover most of the key questions that we've been asked. We would, of course, in admissions be delighted to answer any additional questions that you have at any given time.
Absolutely. Yes, just contact us.
Well, that concludes our event for this afternoon. I do hope it's been informative and enjoyable. If you do have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact the admissions team. Otherwise, have a lovely summer break, and girls, we so look forward to seeing you again in September.